So the Packers are 7-point underdogs to the 49ers. I love it. I love it. Let's go into San Francisco, defy the odds, and let's go and win this thing, and we're off to Super Bowl 54. I know it's a whole lot easier said than done, but here's how the Green Bay Packers can pull off the upset and punch their ticket to Miami, Florida, on the grandest stage of NFL football, Super Bowl 54. Okay, so here are the things that the Packers have to do, the checklist on offense and defense, in order to beat the San Francisco 49ers. The first thing the Packers could do is to start with a quick passing game. Obviously, quick throws are one of the biggest things to combat a really great fierce pass rush. So going with quick throws could be exactly what would be needed to start things out, to get Aaron into rhythm and to be able to find some receivers on some bubble screens, slants. The objective is to get the ball out of Aaron's hands quick and often. The second thing is give Jamal the ball. I know that Aaron Jones is our starting running back and has done an absolutely fantastic job as the team's bell cow back. But Jamal Williams has been injured with a shoulder injury and did not get very many carries in the game against the Seattle Seahawks like I thought we would. But he was only limited to just one catch and one carry all game and has mostly been seen on the bench. This is the time right now to unleash Jamal and give him some carries to grind out the tough yardage. The third thing to do is to utilize tight ends in pass protection. It would be a great help to be able to utilize max protection in some cases of where you can get some double teams against Nick Bosa and Dee Ford. When you take a look here at this projected starters for the 49ers defense, it'll probably most likely be Nick Bosa on the left side. The right side, but he will also probably move to the left. And I have Arik Armstead penciled in as the starter, but Dee Ford will also be utilized on both sides. And those are the key matchups in this game: is Nick Bosa versus David Bakhtiari or Brian Bulaga, Arik Armstead versus Brian Bulaga or David Bakhtiari, and Dee Ford versus Brian Bulaga and David Bakhtiari. It would be a huge help if we can get Mercedes Lewis, Jimmy Graham, and Jay Sternberger in order to help in the pass protection, and use some double teams in there so that Aaron can have more time in the pocket and to be able to find receivers open. Also, do not be surprised to see Jay Sternberger used more in the fullback position in order to help pick up blitz packages or inside stunts, like we could possibly see Bosa, Ford, or some linebackers to come up through the middle and go and get Aaron that way. It would be wise to have a fullback in the backfield or a good pass blocking running back like Jamal Williams in order to take away the blitzes, or whatever inside stunts that Robert Saleh has in store for this Packer offense. Another thing the Packers can do is to continue to use Devontae in the slot, as Devontae did an absolutely fantastic job and he tore apart the Seattle secondary. We found some mismatches against some weaker corners on the inside, and Devontae was able to use his great route running and explosion off the line in order to get open, and was a huge key factor in beating Seattle. Going back to the 49ers projected starters here, as you can see at cornerback, there's Richard Sherman. Emmanuel Mosley will be starting instead of Ahkello Witherspoon, and then there's K'Wan Williams, the slot corner. I believe if we can get Davante Adams going up against K'Wan Williams in the slot a little bit more, some damage can be done there, as opposed to having him line up against Richard Sherman most of the game, and we can definitely see Davante have another good explosive game if we can utilize that mismatch. The next thing to do is that Aaron must play like he did against Seattle. Aaron did such a great, fantastic job and looked like his old self, and he was able to completely shred that Seattle secondary, especially on third downs, and Aaron Rodgers must be able to continue his good play like he did against Seattle, where he was pinpoint accurate, made almost all the throws necessary. He had no underthrows, no overthrows. He was great, and we will probably most likely need great Aaron in order to be able to pull this game off. And one thing that was absolutely noticeable was that Aaron was not holding onto the ball too long very much and was not taking unnecessary sacks, particularly coverage sacks as what they are called. We have seen that a lot. That has happened last time in Week 12 against the 49ers. So it is big that Aaron Rodgers gets the ball out quick, does not hold onto the ball forever, and takes sacks, because that 49er defense will get to the quarterback in a hurry. So it is crucial that Aaron gets the ball out quick, does not take too many sacks in this game. And the last and final thing to do on offense is all gas, no brake. This team cannot allow our quarterback to take sacks, have drives stall out, and put this game on the defense, as the defense has a true bend but don't break mentality, and the last time these two teams faced, the defense broke, because the offense could not sustain drives. So it'll be crucial for Aaron and Matt to get and the offensive guys to be able to get a good game plan to come into Levi Stadium and to put up points against a very, very stout 49er defense, led by defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. And now onto the defense. Here's what the defense will need to do in order to stop the explosive Kyle Shanahan-led San Francisco 49ers offense. And the first thing to do is to hit the 49ers offense at their weak spot, and that is to confuse Jimmy Garoppolo into throwing interceptions. Jimmy Garoppolo is obviously a really good quarterback, but he is turnover prone, and teams that have had success against the 49ers, they were able to get some interceptions. They were able to create some turnovers. The next thing for the defense to do is to limit the running game. As you can look right here on this 49ers projected chart here against our defense, the starting running back will most likely be Tevin Coleman with a mixture of Raheem Mostert and Matt Breida. The reason why I don't have Matt Breida here is because of space, and expect that trio to be a huge key part into getting the 49ers offense going. This run defense, I believe, could possibly do some stuff and can limit Coleman, Mostert, and Breida if this team can just get together, stay gap sound, and control the line of scrimmage. So if we could take away their running game, this will force Garoppolo to throw. And like I said, their weak spot is their quarterback. So let's make Jimmy Garoppolo beat us through the air, as opposed to the running backs beating us with their offensive line and their good trio of running backs. The third and probably the most crucial thing to do is to limit the big plays. Like last week against the Seattle Seahawks, it will be even bigger and more crucial to limit the big plays, as this 49er offense, led by Kyle Shanahan, definitely lives off of explosive plays and really, really big plays down the middle of the field. So don't be surprised to see this team play more in zone as opposed to man coverage, and just risking having the chance of their wide receivers breaking out in the middle of the field and getting open on against our man coverage. So if we can sit back in zone and just force Garoppolo to throw and take away the deep game, that's where we can take the 49ers and force them into just taking field goals as opposed to touchdowns in the red zone. And the fourth point here is to limit George Kittle. This will be a really super tough chore, as there are not very many guys that can hang and cover George Kittle. Is big, fast, strong, is a very great route runner, and it's not a matter of stopping Kittle, it's just a matter of limiting him. And I believe that we are kind of in a deficiency of talent in order to be able to completely keep Kittle completely at bay. But we do have Ibrahim Campbell, who has definitely been our inside linebacker safety type of guy that could be on him Also, don't count out Chandon Sullivan, who has been our dime corner. We could possibly see him match up against Kittle. Another thing we can do on defense is to use Z up the middle on whatever by means necessary in order to get pressure up the middle, whether it's inside stunts or just using him, lining him up over the center, in order to take away some extra attention to Kenny Clark, who has been our rock-solid starting nose tackle and anchor on the defensive line, using Zadarius Smith to go take advantage of the mismatches on the inside at guard and center could be another way to be able to utilize him in order to create pressure and get some sacks on Jimmy Garoppolo. So this is how the Packers can do this in order to complete the upset, beat the San Francisco 49ers, as invincible as they look, like David versus Goliath, and given the execution, and if this team has had a good week of practice, brings their A game, Matt LaFleur outcoaches his former mentor Kyle Shanahan, and it's very possible that the Packers are going to be punching their ticket to Miami, Florida, and heading to Super Bowl 54. Let's hope that they do, and this is going to be a very, very good, entertaining NFC Conference Championship game, and we shall see who is going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I'm Pac-Man Jake. Go Pack Go.